Today we are going to discuss the topic of the alimentary system or alimentary canal. You call it as GIT, gastrointestinal tract. So let me tell you that it starts from your oral cavity, and here you can see that there is the oral cavity that is being bounded by the lips, and when you move into its interior you get through the teeth, and in the oral cavity proper you get the hard palate as a roof, and on the floor you get the tongue as a content. Then you move further backwards to enter into the pharynx, where that oropharynx continues downwards to become the esophagus. Now you can see that esophagus is going to be entered into your stomach. After that, the stomach is continued as duodenum. That duodenum then becomes the jejunum and ileum. I'm talking about all these three parts of the small intestine. That small intestine is going to be entered into your large intestine, and this large intestine, after ascending, transverse and descending, now has to end up as a anal canal. Now you are looking into the interior of your oral cavity. Here you expect the things that there are gums, and you see the hard palate is there, and then you can expect the soft palate, and the tongue is also there. Now what we find here, that the mucosa or the innermost lining, you see firstly is lined with the epithelium. So which epithelium is a part of your mucosa of your mouth? Is the stratified squamous epithelium. But of which variety? You expect keratinized epithelium somewhere, and parakeratinized or partially keratinized as well, and non-keratinized. So on the gum and the hard palate or on the dorsum of your tongue, you expect keratinized to parakeratinized epithelium. So what is the difference between the parakeratinized to that of the keratinized one? Let me tell you that the superficial cell in parakeratinized epithelium, they do not show the nuclei in the cytoplasm, and your mucosa very much resembles to that of your skin, I would say, but it lacks stratum lucidum, which you find in your skin layer. Now what I have to tell you is that your mucosa basically consists of the outermost lining, which you call it as epithelium. Next to it, a loose arranged layer, you call it as lamina propria. Then below you can expect the third layer or part of the mucosa is the muscularis mucosae, may or may not be present. But if we discuss the interior of your mouth, we will focus that which type of epithelium you can see all around. Now we have to learn that your oral cavity being lined with the mucosa, and you expect them on your lips, on your cheeks inside, then the alveolar covering, on the gums, even on the floor of your mouth, and you expect them on the inferior surface of your tongue and soft palate. And what next? At these sites, this lining mucosa has to cover your striated muscles, which you expect in your lips, even in your cheeks and tongue. And then you can expect the bony area, the alveolar mucosa, and definitely the glands would be there in the area of your soft palate in your cheeks, and inferior surface of your tongue and even your lips. So what you expect after the mucosa, you would be having the fewer or shorter papilla underlying. And what next? After the mucosa, you expect the next layer is submucosa, which is well laden with the collagen and elastic fibers, because it has to bind your mucosa to the underlying muscle. So it contains many even minor salivary glands in it. And what about the teeth which we will observe in the next slide. But before going to the detail of our tongue, we are looking into a histological section of the stratified squamous epithelium of your oral cavity. On the right side, you observe the keratinized epithelium, which is non-nucleated, but on the left, you can observe the parakeratinized epithelium, and you can very well see that the superficial layer is addressing the nuclei in it. Now here in this slide, you are observing that there is a longitudinal section of your teeth. So on the very top, you observe the crown is there if you concentrate, and then you expect the root area of your teeth. And what next? In between, you find the neck of it, and there is another thing that you observe in the very center is the pulp cavity, and there is definitely the root canal. What these addresses? The hard tissue is there in your teeth basically, and the soft tissue is also there. And in the crown, you can observe even in your teeth that first outer whitish layer is the enamel. Next to it, that forms the major bulk of your teeth, is the dentin. Then in the very center, I've already told you there is a pulp, so you can see the valvascularity and nerve endings are there. So you can expect that the toothache is very bad because it is richly having nerve supply inside it. Then you can see the gums on its very margin. Now the periodontal ligament, I would say, is what? It is made up of dense connective tissue which is irregularly arranged. It is present in between the bony socket, I would say, and this basically dentin and cementum of your teeth. What else? You can observe the Sharpie fibers, or which you name to which fibers the endings of the collagen fibers, and which cells you expect over there. The principal cells here could be fibroblasts in the periodontal ligament, and some macrophages, mast cells, plasma cells, and leukocytes you can observe in this periodontal ligament. And the cells that are present in the cementum, you call them as the cementocytes. And let's talk about the cells of the dentin. These cells are odontoblasts, which make this dentin. These are tall columnar, mesodermal origin, you would say. And then what about these enamel cells? They are amyloblast and ectodermal in origin. In this video, we are supposed to talk about the histological sections of your oral cavity and concentrate on the blue arrow that is showing the stratified squamous epithelium in your oral cavity mucosa, and the orange arrow is showing the lamina propria. And what it is gonna do, it is producing the deeper papillae from the lamina propria towards your epithelium as an indentation. So that is a sharp contrast when you find deeper papillae. That is definitely the alveolar mucosa, or you would say that it is the mucosa of your gingiva. But if you find the shallower papillae, that will be addressing the, you would say, mucosa of rest of your oral cavity. Like in this picture, if you can visualize that there is epithelium on the very top, and here you can observe the papillae that are from the reticular layer of the lamina propria towards the epithelium. And if you concentrate, there are smooth muscles present showing with the abbreviation SM, and you can find the adipose tissue over there and so many minor salivary glands buried inside. So then concentrate on the next picture, please. This picture is shown to you just to recall that we have got what three things in your mucosa. Number one is the epithelium, number two is the lamina propria. Number 3 is the muscularis mucosae here. Another very good view in which you can visualize the epithelium, and then there are various glands, could be serous, could be mucus, inside in the lamina propria all around the oral mucosa. Now again you can look into the whole map of your GIT, starting from the mouth up to your anal canal. We have to see the cross-sectional view of any tubular structure you have got, like esophagus or small large intestine, in the next picture. So you have to concentrate what is the proper layering present over there. Here in this picture you can see that we are coming across through the innermost layer, that is the mucosa. Then you can concentrate next layer, which is the submucosa. Then you can observe the muscular layer, which is the muscularis externa, made up of the inner circular and outer longitudinal, and the outer one must be serosa or adventitia where it is required. This is a little bit. Now concentrate here that we are looking into a picture highlighted. Here you can see the mucosa being marked with the epithelium first from the inner side with the letter E. Next to it is the lamina propria written with the letter yellow color marking LP. Then you can see a thin circular lining that is being marked with double M, that is muscularis mucosae. These three structures, they are going to supposed to form your mucosa. Next to it, a line is marked with a black color, and you can very well see that it is a structure which is submucosa. Next to it, you can observe that there are two muscles here, which are two muscular layer. The inner circular you would be observing, and the outer longitudinal. They form the muscularis externa. Then you can see this is the serosal lining addressing the neurovascular bundle in it.